Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston, and it is freezing in October. We're in the very beginning of October, and it's totally freezing because they've been blocking out the sun. And that sucks for the Northeast, but apparently already in California, they're preparing to cut power to 1 million customers. Be ready. What did I tell you about the winter time? The worst thing that can happen if you're prepared is you're prepared. And that is completely and totally it. Everything you need to be prepared for yourself and your family is right here on this website. Links will be in the description. You can get water purification, get rid of the fluoride, get freeze-dried food, and also get methods to save energy so you can charge your laptop or cell phone. Be ready or don't. It's totally your call. I'm out. Okay, I'm going to start off this video by explaining something to my subscribers. We are on the verge of about 50,000 subscribers. I've been on YouTube for 6 years, almost 7 actually. You can go back and see where I started. You're looking at it right now. I used to post videos of the work that I did in hopes of gaining more customers, so forth and so on, and it worked pretty well. And then, every once in a while I'd go outside to smoke a cigarette and I would look up and I would see this. Now, it really didn't dawn on me necessarily what I was seeing, but I've always been into space since I was 9 years old, which is 40 years, you know what I'm saying? And I started looking into it a little bit, and I started posting videos probably about 3-4 years ago about chemtrails. I would tell my family about it. I would point to them, and they would just laugh and go, "Oh, come on, that's nothing." Well, as you can see, this is clearly nothing. This started about 30 minutes ago, and this is the result. It's big, thick, and long-lasting. These things don't go anywhere. This is not condensation coming out of a Pratt & Whitney or a Rolls-Royce engine, none whatsoever. And if you look up NASA's information, the Appleman chart is what it's called. It explains to you the heights and conditions required for a plane to even leave a condensation trail behind it. And we're seeing this every single solitary day. So the Appleman chart is basically out the window. For those that don't know, they're spraying us. They're spraying us like bugs. Plenty of people have tested it until the lab stopped testing, but it's barium, strontium, and aluminum. Worst case scenario, there's other things in there that we just don't know anything about. But that's not what this video is about. Several channels have decided to start attacking me for whatever reason, and it happens. It's happened to me last year. It happened to me the year before. It happens, and I usually just ignore them. And for those that don't understand why I ignore them, let me ask you this. If you're on a bus or a train or in a supermarket and a mentally challenged person starts screaming at you, are you going to start arguing with them in front of everybody? Of course you wouldn't, because that would make you look insane. It just doesn't make any sense. You can't argue with them and win, correct? So there's that. Now on to this. See this video that I'm taking right now? I'm clearly, in the daytime, I'm zooming in on the moon. Let's watch this again. In the daylight, I'm zooming right in on the moon. No problem with a Nikon P900. And I can zoom even further than that, and I believe I will. There it is. You can literally see what looks to be stars shining right through it. Now let's take a look at this. This is going to be a little comparison. Right over here is the Boston skyline. See it? And right there is the Prudential building, which if you Google it from my house to the Prudential, it's 4.7 miles away as the crow flies. Not too far, right? I could probably fly the drone over there, but I might lose it, so I don't. At any rate, plus there's an airport right here. Yeah, I grew up next to the airport watching Logan dump all day long. This never happened in my first 30 years of life. It's all pretty new. At any rate, let's watch me zoom in on the Prudential building, shall we? This is going to be a test to prove that the moon is nowhere near 234,000 miles away. Watch. I got the tripod up. I've got the Prudential right in my sights. And here I go. I'm zooming in. That's the Prudential building. See it? Let me adjust the tripod for a second, because as you zoom, it goes up. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Prudential building. You can almost read it because it says Prudential right there. And there you go. My camera is totally maxed out. I apologize for the shakiness, but when you're zoomed out 2,000 millimeters, the camera gets shaky. That is as far as I can zoom out with a Nikon P900 to an object that I know the distance, 4.7 miles away as the crow flies. Now let's watch me zoom in on the moon. That's 200 plus 1,000 miles away, and I'm trying to videotape the moon through an incredibly heavy atmosphere that they're spraying right in front of my eyes. We've already seen that, right? Okay, now I just turned the camera up, nothing more. I'm still standing on the same balcony. It's still the same incredibly chemtrail day. There's the moon right there, 200 plus 1,000 miles away. Let's zoom in. Here we go, and as I'm doing it, there's another plane right there, aerosol spraying, but that's not today's subject, really. Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. All right, I must be maxed out, right? Nope, not at all. Here we go. Here we go through it. Now remember, they are spraying like it's their job and they're supposed to be doing it. Look how far I can zoom in on the moon. I can see those lights right there in that crater. I can see all these speckles right here on it. I mean, are you kidding me? And as far as I can zoom in on the Prudential building is so I can almost read the letters? Yeah, 4.7 miles away. And I might even Google Earth it and try to prove it. Hold on. Okay, this isn't my exact address, but it's right near my house. And if you've watched my videos, you can tell. If you go straight across the water right here, there's Boston. And I've already flown my drone over there, and it's less than 2 miles. Let me see if I can find the Prudential again. There it is right there. Now, if anybody knows how I figure out the exact mileage so I can show it, it's not very far. I can literally see it with the naked eye. I think I'm going the right way here. Am I? I might be following it up, but it doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. Richie from Boston, everything that they tell us is a lie. I can zoom in more on the moon than I can on a building that I can see with my naked eye. That's crazy. Okay, one of my subscribers just sent me this link, and this is NASA, and they're explaining why they never show a real picture of the moon. I mean, the Earth. So listen. And that didn't play.
We've grown accustomed to seeing images of our planet from space. But full Earth views like these have actually only been seen by a few astronauts on their way to the moon and a handful of retreating space probes like Galileo as they peered back toward home for the last time. But thanks to the EPIC camera on the Discover satellite, we now have a new image of the entire sunlit side of the Earth every 2 hours. Of course, satellites in low Earth orbit give us high-resolution images of the planet every day, but they need to be patched together over time to make a composite blue marble. Seeing the full sunlit side of the Earth at once will advance our understanding of dust particles or aerosols traveling in the atmosphere, the height and location of daytime clouds, and the amount of the sun's energy reflected by the Earth, all of which help calculate the Earth's energy balance for climate studies. Discover is the first Earth-observing satellite parked in orbit at L1, the first Lagrange point, a spot almost 1 million miles from Earth, where the gravitational pull between our planet and the Sun is at perfect balance. Even from so far away, EPIC will be able to make observations of vegetation cover on land and individual ship tracks at sea. Discover also has instruments facing the Sun, which will study the solar wind and its magnetic field, as well as give us early warning of severe space weather.
Now, if you believed any of that, I have a self-heating ice cream cone that I left at the North Pole that I can sell you. Okay, so that wasn't a very good analogy, but still, they're talking about their EPIC program, and I've covered this before. According to NASA, they've overhauled their amazing views from space using Space Agency's Earth Polychromatic Imaging Camera, EPIC. Now, when this thing first came out, it was awesome because I showed you the video that proved that using EPIC, you can prove that the moon landings were fake. Now, this is a video I did back in April and then again in September. And using NASA's own EPIC, this is what you see. Oh, for the love of God. All right, I'm destroying this. Using NASA's own EPIC, this is what you see. I'm screwing this up. Sorry, it's early. According to EPIC, this is an actual picture, and there's the moon, and there's the Earth. But you see, if you were on the moon taking a picture of the Earth, because the moon is so close to the Earth would be all you would see. And that kind of ruins the picture they showed us, remember? That's from NASA. And then that's from NASA. So which NASA is lying, is what I'm asking. Well, when you're NASA, lies have to be epic. And they are. It's absolutely staggering to me that people believe anything that they say. But the best part about this is we make a difference. Channels like, for instance, Jeranism. Jeranism stayed on NASA about why don't you have a live stream from the International Space Station for so long that they actually did it. Now people will go, that's flat Earth. Well, you know what? There's a lot of information. Again, turning your back on a channel because they don't agree with everything you think of is what the programming for television has done to all of us. Whatever happened to rational people? If they have something, if 90% of the information is good and 10% doesn't align with what you think, you should still use the information. And I think that's the problem with the truth community right now. People are just turning their backs on other channels because you believe in one. I watch a lot of channels that are Islamic people. I don't believe in Muhammad or any of that stuff, but I don't turn my back on it. You see what I'm saying? Because some of the information's really good. At any rate, Richie from Boston, NASA keeps lying, but this time it's epic. I'm out.